all, good evening. So today in this class, we are going to see about support vector missions. In short form, we call it as SVM. This is a classification algorithm. So let's see more about it. First of all, what is SVM? So like I have told you before, support vector missions. This is the full form of SVM. So first of all, this is a supervised machine learning algorithm, and we can do both classification and regression using this classifier, using this machine learning algorithm. So, but it is used mainly for solving classification problems. And the objective of this algorithm is to find a hyperplane in n-dimensional space. This n-dimensional refers to the number of features. If you have two features, it is two-dimensional space. Three features means 3D. That distinctly classifies the data points. So till now we have seen many algorithms like decision tree, then k nearest neighbor, then in the last class we saw naive Bayes. So now in this list we have support vector missions. Let me take an example. Suppose this is me, and during these COVID times, I have to start a e-commerce business which sells many organic products, includes vegetable, fruits, provisions, etc. So I have two objectives for my business. First one is I have to sell the products I have. So if I sell, I'll get income, okay? So I have decided to generate income for me. For that, I have started my e-commerce business. The first objective of mine is selling organic products. Then I have to find target customer. So first I have to achieve this one. So if you find your target customers, then you can sell the products to them. So this is the first step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect data from internet, and I'm going to find who are my target customers. Okay. Just see here, this is the data I have collected from the internet. So this is a customer data. For example, this is the, so totally I have pasted only 18 data totally, but we have more. The first feature is user ID, then gender. Here under gender, you have male, female. Then age is given here. Then this column is the estimated salary of that customer. Then this is our target column in which we are interested. So I have to find whether a customer will buy my product or not. So purchase means you will get 1. So not purchase means 0. So this is our target. This is also a binary classification. Binary means 0, 1. So multi-class means more than, here you will be having 2 and all. But this is binary. So if you say I have to analyze the data of the customer. So what are all the things that is important for me to find my target customers? If you see, the user ID is not important because I've gathered this data from some other website. So I'm not going to take this one. You see, gender, is gender important? It depends upon the business I do. Suppose I do a suppose I sell beauty products. Okay. In that case, I have to concentrate on female customers, but I'm not doing that. So organic products and the provisions are all common to both the genders because food is common to all. So I'm not doing beauty business. So I'm not taking gender into consideration. So yes, age matters a lot, and then estimated salary. So based on these two, we are going to predict or classify whether a customer will purchase my product or not. So this is purchase my product. This is not purchase my product. Is the data clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. So I have chosen these two columns and I'm going to classify the target based on age and estimated salary. So let's move on to the SVM part. First of all, SVM is support vector missions like I've told before. So I have taken age and estimated salary as two features, okay? Two features. And I'm going to predict whether a customer will purchase my product or will not purchase my product. So if you see, suppose this is age 5, 10, that way. Mostly provisions buying will be in the hands of the parents. Suppose 40, 30, 40, 50, 30, that way. Here estimated salary is suppose 5K. It's not that someone whose age is 30 is whose estimated salary is 5K will not buy my product. So this is a sample data, okay? Sample. So it will not actually directly show you the population, but it's a random sample, okay? Let's see the higher. If you see one more thing I have to tell you, like I have told you organic products. Nowadays our organic products are much costlier than other things. If you see normal 1 kg rice will be 60 and an organic rice is selling at rupees 90 rupees. It's because of the cost of production of that rice. So that way people, not everyone will afford that. People who have estimated salary high, they will afford for a good health, and even at 50 age they want to eat healthy and be healthy. So that way the data is divided, okay? Estimated salary according to the age. So let's see one example here. If you see the age is 32 and the estimated salary is 1,50,000. So the data is given that he will purchase my product. Suppose estimated salary is 1 lakh here and age is 30 here. Suppose that this could be that point. So this is the plotting of the points. Plotting is over. So let's move on to the concept of SVM. So that is support vector missions. See, we have to concentrate in these four topics. Okay. First of all, like I've told you, I have to classify between these 2 points. That is circle and star. For that, I have to draw a decision boundary. So this thick line is called as decision boundary. Decision boundary. So this is called as the hyperplane. If you see here, this is a two-dimensional graph. Like I've told you, I've taken two feature. In that case, we say it a line, okay? If suppose this is a three-dimensional graph, we call it as a hyperplane. This line in 2D is called as decision boundary or a line. Okay. In 3D, if you see, this is called as a hyperplane. So this is the boundary that divides the two classes. Okay. Whether a customer will purchase or not. So this is the boundary used to divide between two different classes. The next thing is margins. Okay, using this we divided, but how we divided? First of all, we have to take these two lines, okay? These two lines are called as margins. So these margins are parallel to the hyperplane. Sorry, decision boundary in 2D here. So this is the decision boundary and these two lines are parallel to this boundary. And what is called as marginal distance? The distance between the hyperplane and these marginal lines. That is the margins. So if you see, this is the marginal distance. So what is a very good model or a generalized model we say? So generalized model will be having maximum marginal distance. Why maximum marginal distance? What could happen if it is small? So we are making machine learning models to predict for the future, right? So if a new data comes here, suppose here, if I extend, that is a margin, suppose if the margin, this line is here, sometimes there is chance that I classify this as a circle. Suppose if it comes here, this side of the line, this could be a circle. That way there is a chance of misclassification. So it could happen. So that's why we have to make the margins wider as much as possible so that if any new data comes, it could classify better. So that is the concept of margins. Based on these two, this decision boundary is formed. Next, what is support vectors? So this is the main important thing on which our support vector missions, that is SVM, is formed. Let me erase all this. So support vector means these are all the points that represent the class, okay? It passes through or it will be much closer to the margins. These two are called as support vectors. These 2 points. That is supporting for the classifier to draw margins, and based on the margins, this boundary will be formed. So first of all, what is meant by hyperplane? A hyperplane is the decision boundary. We'll say it as hyperplane when it comes to 3-dimensional space. But in 2D, we say it as a line or a decision boundary. Next, what is margins? Margins are the two lines that is parallel to the decision boundary. This is the boundary. These margins will be parallel to the boundary and it passes or close to the support vectors. These margins will pass through the support vectors. And then the marginal distance, the distance between the margins and the boundary. This will be measured as marginal distance. Then support vectors are the points that supports the margin.
Support vectors touch the margins, or is it like just
It
near the margin?
actually it depends upon the data, okay? Sometimes, yeah, more the times it will pass through the margins, but in some cases, maybe it could be very, very close, but it cannot touch, okay? But based on these two, the margins are formed. And based on the margin, the boundary is formed. And this boundary is helpful in classifying two different class of data. Okay. So these are all the four important topics about SVM, that is support vector machines. But if you see here, real data will not be like this. It will be clumsy. Just see the left side, this diagram here. So this is what we have seen now. It is similar to that, but this data is called as linearly separable. So first of all, what is linearly separable? It means that you can separate it using a line. So if you separate this using a line, there will not be any misclassification. So what is non-linearly separable data? So you cannot separate it using a line like this. If you do that way, the accuracy will be less than 30%, okay? Less than 30. Accuracy will become less than 30 and you have a more chance of misclassification. More of 50% of red or here, 50% red or here. So this is not a good model. So like I've told you, every time we won't get data in this form, which can be separated with a boundary. We can also get a data like this, which cannot be separated, which cannot be linearly separable. So what can we do in this situation? So is there any way? So SVM gives us a way for this. You see, this is the non-linearly separable. It means we cannot separate these two classes, that is circle and rectangle, using a line. We need some method. That method is called as kernel. This kernel we'll be using while we do coding. So first of all, what is meant by kernel? Kernel is a method which is used for transforming data from lower dimension to higher dimension. Just see the left hand diagram. This is a two-dimensional data. So this kernel is used to transform this data, that is 2D data, into a 3D data. So using this, we are creating the plot like this. If you see here, we have clearly separated the two different classes, that is circle and rectangle. So now here we cannot draw a line. Do anyone remember what I've told? For a word, I just told you a word that is used for separating the data points in three-dimensional space. Do anyone remember?
Hyperplane.
Yeah, it's hyperplane. So now here, if you see in three-dimensional data, the points will be on the space, okay? It will not be between these two lines. It will be on the space. So that's why we draw a hyperplane like this. And we divide these two different classes in three-dimensional data. So in two-dimensional data, we just, if the data is linearly separable, we just draw a decision boundary. like we did before here. So if the data is like this, we just draw a decision boundary. And if the data is like this, clumsy, we have to convert it from lower dimension to higher dimension using kernel, and we can draw a hyperplane. So under kernel, if you see, we have three things. The first one is linear kernel. Second one is polynomial kernel. Third one is RBF, radial based function. So only three kernels. So this is important here. Kernel is used for transforming two-dimensional data to three-dimensional data, from lower dimensional to higher dimensional. First one is linear, polynomial, RBF. So totally three kernels we have in support vector machines. This much is the concept of support SVM here. So this kernel you will be understand when we do coding part. Do you have any doubt here? Or do you want to give me a summary?
I don't have any doubts.
So how do we make this kernel? Is there a coding to it?
Yeah, one more thing I would like to tell you. Yeah, there is a coding. If you go to sklearn, like if you call SVM classifier, in between the brackets, you have to write kernel and you have to write the name of the kernel. Suppose I'm writing linear. So if you write, it will change from two-dimensional or lower dimensional to higher dimensional. So this is the coding that we use. Like I've told you, when we do coding, you will be clear in that. And if you have any doubt on, how things are changing from two-dimensional through to three-dimensional, let me tell you that also. See here, if you see the data, you have only 2 points. Suppose this point is 1, 2. This is 0, 1, 2 here. Sorry, 2, 1. This point is 2, 1, okay? This point. So I have to convert this point into a three-dimensional space. So how we have to do, how this kernel works is that it will take a function z as a new function. Z is equal to x square plus y square. So it will take some function like this, and then x square is 4 plus 1. So z is equal to 5. So our old point is 2, 1. But if you see, our new point that should be plotted in a three-dimensional space will be x, y, z. That will be 2, 1, 5. So this way it will form equations and convert it into a higher dimensional data. So for that it used three different kernels, that is linear, polynomial, and then RBF. RBF means radial based function. So this way a point is plotted. This single point is plotted here, suppose. So that way each point will be converted like this, will be inserted in a function, and the z value will be found for each point, and then it will be plotted in a 3-dimensional space. Okay, is it clear? Can I move on to the coding?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
Sure.
So this time I have brought you a new data set. Iris will be boring, right, every time? The first line is that, like I have told you, I have brought you new data. I'm not importing it from sklearn. So I'm just importing it from a CSV file. So for that, I use import pandas as PD. So pandas library, using that, we are going to import a CSV file from my computer path. So import pandas as PD is required. After that, like every time we used to do, machine learning models will be divided into 2 parts: train test split, sklearn dot model selection, import train test split. Then, so this is the new line that we are going to concentrate. From sklearn dot svm, this svm represents support vector missions. Import svc. Like I have told you before, support vector missions can do both classification and regression. So now we are doing the classification problem. So svc means support vector classification. Okay, if I write svm, it will not work. So this is the syntax svc for doing support vector classification. So from sklearn.svm, import svc. Then sklearn.metrics, to evaluate the model, we use accuracy score. The next step is, okay, first let's run this. So in the next step, if you see, I've created the data. So in that data, I'm just importing using pandas. I'm just importing using the read CSV file method, social network ads. So this is the data that I have showed you in the PPT. After that, data.head means the first 5 values will be printed. Let's see how the data looks like. See the same data: user ID, gender, age, estimated salary. This is the last column, is the target, whether a customer has purchased the product or not. So it's clear. So as I've told you, user ID and gender we are not going to use. We have to split, that is age and estimated salary, from this whole data frame, so that we can do the classification based on these 2 features, but not 4. 4 is given here, we are selecting 2. So for that, we have to write separate code. X is the feature, Y is the target. So in X, we are taking 2 values, that is the 2 columns, age and estimated salary. For that, we have to use ilog. If you write data.ilog, this colon means all rows, okay? If you see, we have 400 rows. Okay, let me print it first. So that we can see how many rows are there in total. So if you can see here, 400 rows into 5 columns are there. So everything is mixed up here, target and features. So we have to split these 2 things. Age, estimated salary next. That is here. All rows means all the 400 rows will be here. comma 2, comma 3. We all know that Python starts from 0. So this column is 0, 1, then age is 2, then 3. So like I've told you, 2 and 3 we are going to select. So all rows from 2 and 3 columns, second and third columns. So we have to close these two square brackets, dot values. So that way we have to split the features. This is called as feature extraction. We are extracting the features from the whole data frame. Then print X. Same way, all rows and fourth column. That is the target column. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So purchased will be in Y. So this is all about splitting feature and target. Let's run this. See, this is our X, that is feature, and zeros and ones are the target columns. That is whether a customer will purchase or not. Next step is X train, X test, Y train, Y test, which is equal to train test split. This time I have taken test size 33%. So remaining will go to training. Random state, any number we can give. Let's run this. So if you see the features here, the features here are age and estimated salary. Like we have discussed in the PPT, we have to find the marginal distance. So for finding distance, both the features must be in same units. Age and salary is not in same unit. That's why we also do here sklearn dot pre-processing. Import standard scalar. If you use this, the data will be transformed into standard normal distribution. So scalar is equal to standard scalar, calling this function, then fitting the X train, fit and then transform. So scalar dot transform, we are just transforming X test values also. So let's run this. So these are all the standard normal numbers, and the first column is the age and the second one is the salary. Last 4 lines of the code. So SVMM is the object name. Like I've told you, we should not write SVM. This SVC. Support vector classifier. SVC in capital. So kernel, this is what you have asked. So this kernel, I'm just specifying it as linear. And then random state 0. Then same way, object dot fit, we are fitting the model here using the training data. Then this predicted value will be stored in SVMM underscore predict. So we are predicting for the test data. Print accuracy score is comma, this value will be printed. The difference between the Y test value and our predicted value. This is our predicted value. So this is our predicted value. And if you check, the accuracy score is 82%. Like I've told you, we have 3 different kernels. The first one is linear. We have tried and checked. Let's write the accuracy here. It's 82. The first one is linear. Let's check for each kernel. So let me delete and write polynomial. So all must be in small letters, POLY we have to write. So this uses a different kernel to transform the data from lower dimensional to higher dimensional. So let's check the accuracy score when we use this type of kernel. Let's run this. See, it's 85%. From linear 82, it has been increased at 3% if we just change the kernel. So 85 with polynomial. So let's check with the last one, that is radial based function. RBF is the code. So totally we have only 3 kernels, and let's check with this final kernel. So see, it's 90% accuracy. So different kernels will give you the accuracy score changes according to the change in the kernel. So we have to change it according to the model and the data. So here we get 90% with RBF. So totally we have 3 kernels, and the accuracy score has been improved from 82% to 90%. So this is all about SVM, that is support vector missions. Is there any doubt?
No, it's okay.
Okay, are you ready for the quiz? So if you are ready, please tell me yes.
Yes, we are ready.
Okay. Okay, let me start the quiz. Full form of SVM. You have 20 seconds for this to answer. Superb. Superb, all are correct. Let's move on. Yeah, the full form of SVM is support vector missions, not support vector classification. This will be used when we do coding, but the full form is support vector missions. So let's move on to the next question. When do we call the decision boundary as hyperplane? You also have 20 seconds for this. 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension. 5, 4, 3. Superb. Superb. All correct answers. So in a 3-dimensional space, we call the decision boundary as hyperplane. In 2 dimension, we call it as a decision boundary or a line. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Third question. How many margins do SVM have? 0, 1, and then 2. Superb. All have answered right question. All have answered rightly. Let's move on to the next one. From sklearn.svm import what? Import dash. SVM, SVC, small letter SVM. Be careful here. Tick and answer. You have 5 more seconds. Yeah. Small SVM as written here. From sklearn.svm. Import SVC is the correct answer. So this is a question from the coding part, okay? From sklearn, all these things from coding. So the second option is the correct answer. Let's go to the next question. The last question of the quiz. How many kernels does SVC classifier have in total? 5, 3, 10. Total kernels. Awesome. All correct. So kernels, SVC have 3 kernels in total, and the first one is linear, second one is polynomial, and the third one is RBF, that is radial based function.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you all for attending.